even with our normal system of life, you know that once you are diligent at something, you tend to gain rewards. Now, the work of an architect makes me remember how God created the world, right? It gives you an impression that God took into details things that should be even in his imagination. You know why? Because architecture just transcends beyond drawing. But then there are designs and there are designs.
Nice one.
Right? So,
what is your challenging, the most difficult here?
300 level.
What is always? So do you prefer drawing in studio or at home?
My God.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining me in this podcast. I really appreciate you.
All right, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank
Excellent.
you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, first thing, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us your name, your son, where you're coming from, your school. Just a little about yourself.
All right, so thank you so much for that question. My name is Simeon Benjamin. I'm from Kogi State, Igala by tribe, and I just concluded my undergraduate in ATBU. Like you know, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, studied architecture. Right.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you studied architecture?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you just graduated, right?
Yes.
Like 500 level. So can you please just summary, summarize 500 level for us as a student of architecture? How was it? Was it stressful? Was it easy? Because to me, I saw that it was kind of easy. So just
okay, I would not say easy in a sense. You know, when you get to the peak of any level, you get to realize that the more tedious it becomes.
Sure.
Right. So 500 level, I would say for the undergraduate student is a peak where you are not saddled with the responsibility of imagining design out of the box.
Exactly.
So you need to know the nitty-gritty about how you go about stuff, not just having to pen down lines, but then the coordination of those lines. So like I said, 500 level is the peak, and anyone intending to go into that level, probably from 400, should know what is coming into. It's not as easy as it is, but then with your dedication and discipline, you should be able to scale through.
Yeah. Thank you. So, as you just finished 500 level, level, just graduated. You've done 100 level, you've done 200, 4, 5. So I want to know what inspired you to study this course. Everybody has their own inspiration, what they want to do, what they want to be. So that's something that made them choose what they want to, what they are studying.
Yeah.
So I want to know what inspired or what made you study architecture. Was it like parents or you saw someone, something like that?
Okay. I would say it's actually a build-up of passion over the years.
Wow.
Right. So from my primary school days, I realized I was quite good with sketches, having to draw people and the likes. So upon getting to secondary school, I was also in love with technical drawing, right, which I was one of the best even in the class. So I informed what I should study after school. And for technical drawing, there are two aspects: the engine drawing and the building or architectural drawing. So I was more inclined with the architectural drawing. So it really just reviewed what I should be studying. And I could remember vividly my brother linking me up with an architectural student in the poly that informed me on the requirements of studying architecture. And I put myself in that box to see if I met the requirement. And he gave me a lot of insight that I should be here. So I'm actually glad that I'm here.
Nice.
And I'm done with the course.
Exactly. So, just as you said, I think it's almost everybody that is studying architecture. If you ask them, they'll say, when I was young, I was able to draw. And even me to the same thing. When I was young, I could draw, I could sketch all those portraits and all those things.
Yeah.
But let me say a little story about myself. So I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor when I was growing up, but I was in science. So when I saw that if it's doctor, I'm not sure I can do this. So I went to the counselor of the secondary school to ask him, He was like, why do you want it? He didn't give me what I want. It was like, it was like why are you changing? Doctor is good, it's good for you. Right. So me, I knew that no, this man is not telling me what I want. So I just looked at what I can do. Normally they'll say go for that thing you know how to do best.
Yes.
I looked at what I can do. I saw that I can draw. So I was thinking science, what has drawing in it? Because I was thinking that there is no drawing.
Drawing science.
Nobody science, physics, anybody, anytime science.
Inclined with engineering and the
so
medicine line.
Okay, let me see what have drawing inside science. And I saw architecture. First, it's only in my secondary school there I knew that there is something called architecture. So from there, I started developing passion. I saw how it was, and like I said, I was also good at TD. In fact,
wow.
we were two that did TD. That graduated from secondary school doing TD. Like we did TD in WAEC. Two of us. And then the funny thing, the person now, okay, he did TD. We finished, but so we said, okay, we'll do ATB. Architecture. So they gave him QS. He was not happy for it. Just let him do them. Me, I did Poly by the way. So I came 2D. So we're like, okay, we'll do it together. So later, he told me that no, he cannot do this thing. So what he now told me later was like, I'm not doing medicine. I'm like, what's going on? So that is how I ended up doing architecture. So really, that drawing aspect really helped us to choose where we want to study.
And actually, your potential, as it were, is what informs the next phase of your life.
Exactly.
Now, once you are in a phase and you are inspiring to go into the next phase, what are the capacities that you have at your beck and call? It should inform what next you need to know about the next phase of life.
Exactly.
So for us, anybody that is intending to go into the institution, what are the very good things, like you said, that you are very good at? It should inform what should be your plans for the next phase.
Yeah, nice one. Quite nice one. I believe those watching are learning something.
Okay.
So sorry, like I said, you've done 100, 200, 3, 4. So what is your, I believe you must have been asked this question somewhere. What is your challenging, the most difficult year?
Okay. I would say 300 level.
Okay. What is it always 200 level?
Okay, I would just explain briefly.
Yeah, sure.
How that 300 level is where you have that shift, transition between having to do a residential building as against the commercial building. So having to come into a new phase where you are now tasked with the responsibility to do something outside the box, it's quite taxing. So you need to know how to go about it, what to do, some certain information that are just beyond the normal residential setting, a cross ventilation, right? You need to know how to set ramps for commercial building, the calculation it takes, and those are actually more of the things you now do in 300 level that forms your mental capacity now being stretched as against 100 level and 200 level.
Sure.
Yes, really? I would say 300 level for me.
Yeah, but no, I've not finished. I've not yet finished.
Okay.
But really, 200 level, man, it's not easy. It's crazy. And like you said, where they will stretch your thinking. You're no more doing 2-bedroom, 3 bedrooms, all those stuff. You're not doing
always just taxing.
Exactly. You're not doing something that is now like I said, outside the box, industries, commercial, hospitals, all those stuff. So yeah, that's 200 level. And just one simple way. Another way.
Okay.
I want to say is like the paper is not big.
I tell you.
Yeah. No, is it maybe A3, A2, and A1. Like we use A1.
A1, yes. Actually, we start using A1 from 200 level.
Yeah.
And funny enough, lecturer becomes more stern and strict with you because they know the implication of not having to design the commercial building, considering that you are having life to cater for, right? So it's always having to be taxing for you to come about those designs.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So, okay, what area do you prefer most, in architecture? Like we have interior architecture, architecture, what again? Landscape
architecture.
Yeah, and what again? Technology, architecture technology, just like that. So, which side do you love most? What do you prefer?
Okay, upon getting into the institution and even in this line of course, which is architecture, I had affinity with construction, right? So as against the aesthetic, I want to know how buildings work, right? So one of my drive or my major anchor is construction, how you're able to set structure, right? Having to make calculations to see to it that the number of persons that should be in this particular building are being sustained by your calculation, right? So beyond just the landscape, those are actually external, but then they are also part of architecture. But my own passion for architecture is to see how things work and they are being sustained. Now, I'll give you some nitty-gritty about this particular drive of mine, how that we have pyramids of Egypt that has been standing for time immemorial. So those beyond aesthetic as a function of construction or technicalities towards it. So it gives you a form of idea that before a structure can last long, beyond just the interior, there should be calculation that should go into it. So that aspect of architecture is one of my passion for having to go into architecture.
Nice. Okay, so it's just a quick one.
Okay.
Do you prefer going to site or pressing the laptop?
Okay. All right. So my take on that is for an architect, like my mentor will always say, you have to be vast in the tool.
Sure.
You shouldn't just say because you're an architect and you are able to visualize, you are just on the system. Now, implementing takes another level of knowledge. It's not just about the system work. I can pick two designs separately. Having to construct it on different sites comes with their different challenges. So you need to understand, okay, how does this construction applies to this site and how does this apply to this site? You also know that when it comes to different kind of sites, you have topography, you have soil type, and there are myriads of challenges that you might encounter while you are constructing. So I would say for me, both is there's a balance to it.
There should be a balance.
There should be a balance. But then there are some persons that just love the site work in as much as it's good. But then you also need to be informed at the design stage. Because once you can integrate what you want to do in the design stage, it makes both aspects very flexible to achieve.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
I used to hear some people will say, or those guys that love the site work more than, like, so if they give them work, they'll give someone to do the designing and then they'll now go to site. So that's why I asked the question.
Okay, if I would also add to that, is a notion that is being sold even in the profession, how that design does not pay. But then there are designs and there are designs.
Nice one.
Right? So as an architect, you need to understand that this is your profession. We have other, should I say, members in the construction field, like the builders, civil engineer. But then if we begin to say that the design is for lesser value, we are pushing away our work, right? So the idea should be what makes design a unique design, right? So if you can pay attention into design, people will pay for it.
Nice one.
And we know of plenty of persons that actually gain their money just from design, not even construction, because they drop down value. What's the value? The value of what they give cannot be measured. Yes.
Yeah, I like how you use the word value. You know, knowing the value of what you are doing. But someone would let me say this name. This public figure.
Okay.
Someone will say, let your value speak for you.
Yes.
Exactly. So once you know what you are doing, once you know the value, you know that this your work carries value. Sure, that work, that design is going to pay out for you. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
So moving on.
Okay.
No, the question
are you sure you cannot just adjust?
The questions are not much.
Okay, there's a problem. Let's hear you.
Okay. Let's talk student question now.
All right.
So do you prefer drawing in studio or at home?
My God. Okay.
I think like I've never seen you in studio.
Okay.
I do see each other. So do you prefer studio?
Not actually frequently. It's actually tricky, but I'll just try to set a balance.
Yeah.
There are both advantage designing in the studio and designing off studio, right? You have seniority and you're able to think more better as against everyone being in studio and having a loud noise as well. But then one of the advantage you get when you design in studio is you see what your peers are doing and you're able to also integrate it into your designs, right? But then when you now have your time to yourself, you can be able to reflect on what you've seen and also integrate it to your design. So for me, drawing in the studio has its advantage, and drawing off studio has its advantage. So if I would choose from the two, I would say drawing off studio actually for me. Because drawing in studio comes with a lot of, I cannot control what the other person is doing actually. And I need focus to be able to come up with a very good design.
So you prefer drawing
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
Nice one. Okay. Okay, this question.
Okay.
I hope you understand it.
Okay.
There is. Okay, let me ask. What is one misconception
Okay.
that people have about architecture that is not true?
Yes. Thank you
You
so
can
much.
list maybe two, but at least one.
And so I really appreciate you for this particular question because you would hear the notion that the work of an architect is gradually tilting towards the draftsman. That's the notion that so many people have held on to. Yes. And for me, it is not true. You know why? Because architecture just transcends beyond drawing. It comes and boils down to the fact that you need to visualize everything. Now, the work of an architect makes me remember how God created the world, right? It gives you an impression that God took into details things that should be even in his imagination, making sure that this thing is about to create the world should house this number of people for this number of years. A draftsman cannot give you that, right? Because it goes beyond just having to pull line and having prototype designs, right? So it comes and boils down to the fact that there are nitty-gritties to the profession called architecture. So there's a notion that people are gradually getting that you don't need to design anymore. That is why we're having faulty constructions, right? Because if the design stage is being altered, what you can build upon it is also faulty. So that's a very bad notion to have. Architecture is a profession in itself, and it should be taken as such.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, there is this one that someone told me before studying architecture.
Okay.
And it really got me scared. To be sincere. So it's just one small stuff. So they said I don't know, maybe you must have had this somewhere.
Okay.
So they said those that study architecture, that it's hard for them to get work after. Is it job or work or something? So what do you have to say about this one?
Okay, for that is a lie.
Nice one.
A total lie, and I don't want to say from the pit of hell, but then it's a lie. Actually, all right. So even with our normal system of life, we know that once you are diligent at something, you tend to gain reward. Like my faith believes that once you are diligent, you will stand before kings, right? And not before men. So it is only what you bring to the table that informs what benefit you would get from that profession. So if you're not diligent to the profession, then you just end up not being recognized. But then with architecture, it has a very big prospect to the point that you can be recognized in any other parastatals. Like for instance, as an architect, you can work in a bank setting, not just in construction. You can design the progress of work for people, right? So it transcends just beyond you just learning the basics of architecture. Once you talk about architecture with people, they feel okay, I don't know the people that draws house, but then even till how cultures are being shaped still speaks about architecture. So we should learn that it's a mist. You have to be diligent with the this thing course architecture, and it will benefit you.
So you are saying it depends.
Yes.
If you are diligent,
yes,
you must. Or not, did I say you must?
Yes.
As far as God is a God of
it's
justice.
actually a law.
Yeah.
You know,
like
the way the earth runs is you sow and you reap. Yes. So if you take architecture serious, it will take you serious. I learned one wisdom from my boss, having to be in a business setting. He said that once you begin a business, just imagine it as a baby. It begins to grow. You might not necessarily benefit from that child at the moment, but then you will understand that our children are our future, right? So it will come to a point where you now start maximizing your dividends in architecture. So just keep the work. For anybody that is watching this now and you're thinking architecture is not paying, it is really paying, right? So you should put on the work and expect the best.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, so sorry about how do you as an architectural student,
Okay.
we are, should I say, busy? Yeah, kind of busy. Yeah, busy. We are busy, drawings and all those stuff.
Yeah.
So, how do you balance architecture and your religion? Because this one is very important. Like to me
Okay.
personally, it's very important.
Okay.
Balancing, going for fellowships and you have drawings
To do.
you have, and your mind too is like, I'm having
Several things to do.
during 2 days. I've not gone far. So how do you balance?
Okay. Now, there's something I believe, such as accountability.
Yeah.
Now, our faith does not necessarily need to be an enclosed place, right?
Yeah.
But we've sold the notion that once I'm not in the church, as it were, a place where we can now gather together, I'm not having faith. But, for Daniel, it was not that in scripture now. It's not just about him being in the workplace. He could bring faith even to his house, right? So I believe our faith transcends beyond the corporate gathering. So what helps me in those times is I know my secret place much more than the open place where I go and fellowship with the other brethren. So I take my personal work with God much more serious, saying that this also is priority. So, and basically, like you would say, you are here for school. So you need to know how to balance both. That you are not in the presence of God physically with the brethren does not mean you are not in the presence of God in your room, right? So you need to just understand how these things work. And it should not bring about any guilt, right? So you should know that once it is time for design, it's time for design. For instance, you are being called to be consulted, like from your mentors, and you're saying you're going to church, right? No, it's just wisdom that this is what should be done at this particular time. And from a very good mentor that I really respect, he said that once you fail, giving church as an excuse, the Holy Ghost will comfort you, right? So you need to know how to make sure that you are putting your best even in your schoolwork. Now in the line of architecture.
Yes. I like how you said it, like the main thing is your personal life.
Yes.
So once that one is active, then thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, so thank you for your time, sir. But now, this is just like how I call this aspect now.
Okay.
Quick fire. So I'm going to be asking you and you're answering me fast, not time to think.
Just that be possible. Not to be possible. What you want to say.
No, it's just the question is not that hard. Just give me the answer.
Okay.
Just a simple question, simple answer.
Okay.
So, are you ready, sir?
Fine.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So the question: AutoCAD or Revit?
Revit.
Nice, sir. Coffee or Fearless?
Fearless.
Studio board or laptop?
Laptop.
Liza. Okay. HB pencil or clutch pencil?
Clutch pencil.
Nice, sir. Mosquito coil or mosquito pin?
Mosquito coil.
Okay. Minimalist or maximalist?
Minimalist.
Yeah, sure. Nice one. Okay, who is your favorite architect? Whether local or international?
Okay, international. I would say Le Corbusier.
Yeah.
And because of his having to engineer structures, having to see that he can represent the human body, right? So I would say Le Corbusier. Then my friend, actually, Paul, is one person that I've seen that has been diligent with architecture.
Wow.
Yes. So he gives me a sense of earnestness in anything I do, actually, yes. So
nice.
I would say Le Corbusier and Paul.
Nice. I mean, my own international architect is, what is this one that is falling waters?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yes.
Yeah,
the reason because of his
yes. He's integrating nature into construction.
Organic, what do you call it?
Organic architecture, yes.
Thank you. Okay. So this last question. This one.
When Excellency, last question.
It goes like this.
Okay.
No, it's not hard. Okay. You say, if you are not studying we are not studying architecture, what will you be doing now?
Okay.
You're going to buy and sell, import and export.
Architecture for me. I don't want to think of another option. Why? Because it's for me a peak in every other courses, not to be biased now, because having to design, you factor in every other person into your design, right? The other profession, the doctors, the lawyers, you integrate them into design. So imagine you planning for everybody. It places you on the pedestal that at least is something worth doing. Yes.
Quite nice. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome,
Thank you so much for coming to this podcast. This is actually my episode 1. So I believe I'm going to invite you maybe after 5 years time when you have become international.
No problem. I'll be so happy to join you on set again. Thank you so much, sir.